Good evening, folks. Here we are with another Saturday Night Live Zoom. And we have a couple of people here who joined us. Wonderful. I've been talking with David a little bit, and he's on his first, second, third, fourth MFS. Fourth MFS. Has been with us for a while. Been at this lifestyle for about 10 years, living clean lifestyle. And has a challenging hip that he's working on. Have you gone into any of the GANs making, David? Still having trouble breaking. Yeah, well, the breaking the fast, you mean? Yeah, we all go through challenges. It's no big deal. It's a training, and as long as we continue on the path, we never fail. We fall, we get up, fall, get up, we fall, get up. As we continue, the falls will be less and less dramatic. So just keep focusing on the goals and do that. Okay, so you've made some GANs. The zinc oxide would be one that was pretty essential for the emotions. Straight zinc oxide, you make that with a zinc plate and a zinc nano-coated plate. Now, the proper way to make the GANs materials is you hook them up to an LED light in between the wiring. Haven't got that yet. And that's how you collect the proper GANs materials. There's many, many different ways people have made them. But there's a doctor in Brazil, is it? I think Brazil. She showed a few cases of people she was helping with GANs. And there was one particular who had a hip problem, and another woman with a shoulder problem. And they were all eating away in both cases. The one with the hip hadn't walked in, I think it was a few years, a couple of years or so. Anyway, she injected the GANs, a little bit of GANs with the water into the joint, and she put small pain pads that she made in the star formation on the hip and on the shoulder, and she showed the before and after X-rays, and the joints regenerated. So this is why I'm asking about if you've made GANs materials. Yes, what's today's Saturday? Friday. Early yesterday morning, Keshe Foundation announced Chinese Keshe Foundation achieved plasma ignition in motion. So now we're going to get into much more evolution of plasma, and we're going to see a lot of things happen in the near future with plasma. So it's going to be moving along very quickly now that that's been achieved. Their next step is to control it and be able to replicate it. And once this starts happening, the whole world of plasma will be unbelievable for people. You know, you're traveling at millions of times the speed of light with no fuel, no engine, no wings. This is what we can do with plasma technology, because you're working with the basics of creation in the soul level. So now that that's been achieved, we're also going to see revolutionary processing for illnesses with this technology, because it's all related. You know, the health, motion, creation, it's all intertwined all together, and it's going to be amazing time that we are here alive at this time to witness this transformation over the next several years. It's going to be really interesting to watch this all unfold. So continue playing with the Ganz's materials. Zinc I would be making. You can make a calcium one. A good material to use to make calcium is the cuttlefish bone. They use those cuttlefishes in bird cages, so the birds can scrape their beak on it, so it doesn't overgrow. It's cuttlefish bone. You can go to your local store that sells fish, and you should be able to get some cuttlefish, wash it up, and then you can make gans with that. So you can use the zinc, CO2, and the calcium, and you can make paint pads of different sizes, one of each, and you can put them on the hip area and focus the center of the three in the hip, where the hip is, and just wear that about an hour a day or so. What this does is it trains the body to remember how to regenerate. That's all it does. So we don't want to wear them all the time. We don't want to rely on them. We want to just teach the body about the field interactions. So we wear them for about an hour, and then we remove it and let the body do the work. So that's one thing I would also recommend you do, as long and once you're back on food, go for training of the longer dry fast. What was the longest dry fast you've ever done? Hello, Kieran. Is that how you pronounce your name? Looking forward to we'll do a poultice help. 72.
72 hours of dry.
Would a poultice help? Yeah, poultices are great. Also the bone knit. The bone knit comfrey. It's called comfrey.herb. Bone knit is the nickname. That's also great for as a poultice, and you could use the root. Get the root of the comfrey herb, and you grind it up in a mortar and pestle or whatever, and you make a poultice. You can add Gans water to the poultice of that, and put it right at the hip area. Mark, I'm live. I'm live, Mark. I'm live. You want to join us?
No. You got free ticket.
Get a seat.
No. You got free ticket.
Get a
What
seat.
are you doing? No,
Here,
no.
Get a seat.
No.
Yeah, get a seat.
Don't have a seat. We're talking.
Yes.
Sit down. This is my cousin Mark.
Hey,
Move over here.
Toronto, what are you doing?
Okay, Mark, keep it
Good,
down.
good. How are you?
Good.
Keep it down.
How many days? Please take a.
Mark is mentally challenged. He was damaged through vaccination as a child, as a baby. It's my first cousin. So, where was I talking about? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Sit over here.
You're talking about comfrey. Comfrey.
Comfrey, yeah. Oh, yeah, doing the poultice, that's right.
You know, your voice is a little bit lower now, I think.
Yeah, because when Mark screams, the microphone adjusts,
Oh, okay.
and then it goes lower.
Oh my God.
All right. Okay.
Move
No,
over
no,
here.
no, no, that's okay. No,
They can't see you.
no. That's okay.
So yeah, put the comfrey root poultice right at the hip area and tape it on really well, David. And you can leave it on for like a week. Just leave it there. That's another thing. If you don't have the Ganza materials, use comfrey root and then change it, once a week or so. It's kind of probably gets
What?
kind of uncomfortable to wear when you have it taped on and stuff. You can put like a plastic and tape it around with some medical tape or whatever. It's going to be a bit of a pain, but you can put it on the front maybe for a few days until it gets irritated, then put it on the side, and then you can put it on the back. So it's all focused in that hip area.
God.
So you can get that to do the work. What the herbs are doing is just removing all the crap that the body has interference and is interfering with the regeneration. You got comfrey root, great, excellent. So that's something that you can do. You have something to say?
I'm coming to Wayne. I'm coming to Wayne. I'm coming.
We're talking about fasting, Mark.
Fasting.
Yeah.
Fasting.
Yeah. When was your last fast? when was your last fast?
Okay, we're starting together, Mark. Okay, let's start fasting again.
40 days.
Why?
Why? Because it's good for you. It's a friend.
Oh.
Does Mark fast? Mark loves to eat. He's an expert at eating. My aunt is a great cook, and he's a great eater.
Who's that girl? Who's Karen? Karen.
It's Inga.
Inga.
I just noticed. It's hard to see in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him to do a couple of weeks. Not really a fast, but his mother went away for a couple of weeks.
2 weeks.
And he was left with me.
Yeah.
And we got him really cleaned up. Got him on some colonics and stuff. He was doing great.
Diet, right?
Huh?
Change his diet a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. We were doing well.
How's the juice fast?
It's great.
Massive fast.
How's fast? How many are you drinking? Juice fast.
Today's day one.
No, it's okay.
Well, it's okay.
Yeah.
Today's day 22.
That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's when you're dealing with somebody like Mark and so on and so forth. If the agreement of the caregiver is not in line, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to happen. So, you just don't go there.
Oh my God.
But we've seen lots of people turn around when they start, changing their lifestyle and start cleaning the house. Especially the GI tract and the physicality. That's where the challenge lies for everybody in the physical, as well as the lymph system, of course. But every cell in the body, from head to toe, it's just the concentration is through the GI tract, because that's where we put our food, and then everything gets built through the fields of that food in matter. But it's very interesting to observe. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is salad.
Salad? I don't believe you.
Pasta.
Pasta? Pasta's your favorite food. How
Yeah.
about durian?
Durian, that's what he likes.
You
He
don't like
likes
it
durian.
anymore?
I like it. Doing the best.
Is that your favorite fruit?
Oranges.
Orange is your favorite. And what's your second favorite?
Nice.
Not durian no more.
I like durian. The best.
But it's not your favorite.
When they come home.
It's not your favorite?
Yes. Durian's the best.
Now it's your best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you going now?
How about you to take it? But I want to take it
Where's the other one?
in my pocket. Right here.
Okay. There you go. Put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um,
I can tell next week. Yeah.
where are we going with this?
And it's humid out here. It's humid out here. How's the weather?
Mark, go pat Riley.
No.
Go pat him. You can't hear him bark. You can't talk. Go on. Go pat him. Go pat him. Yeah, so. The whole crew. It's coming.
So it looks like no more questions.
Okay, well, I don't really have anything that's coming through me right now, but if nobody else has any questions, we can call it an early night. We'd like to see more people join to inspire each other and support each other and share their story, because the sharing is really, really part of healing. And we've had several people cancel that they're not ready and so on and so forth. That just tells me that there's something emotionally blocking them, and that's gonna keep them from finding balance, because the sharing is crucial part of allowing everything to come to balance. It's no reason to be shy. We're all family here. This is also how other people are inspired and supported. Come join us.
Also, if somebody who has already shared with us and likes to update us, so please, contact us.
Yeah, see how you're doing after a year or two, whatever.
Exactly. It's been 3 years since we started the Massive Fast on Facebook.
We haven't been messaging that many people in the past several months with so many things going on, taking care of my mother and stuff. But, come forward. We'd love to hear your stories. We share the good, what people think is the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. Because this is how we grow together and allow ourselves to release these blockages, which is keeping us from finding balance. Stagnation. If we don't change our ways, things stay stagnant. So coming out of your comfort zone sometimes is how we allow to express and move that energy. And once you start moving energy, we see the magic starts happening in all levels.
And sometimes, like when we break the fast and it feels weird, it really feels much worse than it really is. You get sometimes into a depression, phase. But you can easily get out of it within a few days. So don't give up. Just get up and continue.
Get out in nature.
Yeah, and
sunshine.
Yeah, if you fall off a little bit, it's okay. Get up and continue. change the environment, like you're saying, get out, do something different, help your body, because it can be depressing when you're by yourself and you're going through it and nobody understands. So don't give up. Have a program for yourself and have eating days in it, so that you're learning how to eat. So fasting and eating and fasting and eating, um, and yeah, just make a program and follow it. Let's not give up. That's great, David.
It's not an option.
Yeah, we fall. It's not fun. So we're smart enough to know that it's not the way to go. Especially after a long fast, after experiencing the freedom of really nothing, the freedom of less is more lifestyle. You won't go back. You won't be happy going back to your old ways. You want more. You want less, which gives you more.
Not once you start clearing that plasma tube, it will never be the same. It'll be a huge shock, which people have experienced, trying to go back to your old ways. It's
It's a shock for sure.
not pleasant.
Even after 6 days of eating like massive fast weekly, it's a shock. Yeah, it was nice and clear, like the GI tract, and then all of a sudden there are obstructions. Even if it's food, it's still something. It's much easier, but it's still something. Yeah. And then get back on the fast. Don't give up. I would make most of my days fasting and a very few days of eating. I think that's the best program. Very few days of eating. Most of the days fasting, including the dry, but definitely most of the days liquid, and some days of also dry, but also some days of eating. Few days of eating, because we don't need the food, but there is attachment to it. So take it easy on your everything, emotional body, physical body. You're still social. You're still surrounded by the same people, even if you have changed. People around you haven't changed, so you want to take it easy on them as well. So when you eat, sometimes at least you're eating with them. Sometimes stopping eating all of a sudden is a big change for everyone. Um, yeah. So take it easy, and you have the rest of your life to practice if you want to go towards breatharianism or liquidarianism. But practice eating clean some days, because it's too much of a change. Unless you want to do a nice long massive fast and then get back on less is more lifestyle, with eating sometimes.
Yeah, for people never heard about breatharianism, it's just a far-fetched thing. Inconceivable for a lot of people. So
most people have, though. Most people on the massive fast have heard about it here and there. Maybe not something that would they would want to do anytime soon, or maybe ever. But,
yeah, but we look at the basics that everybody has access to, and sciences and all that. The studies they've done, they reduce food consumption, caloric intake from lab rats and mice and stuff, and they live much longer, much longer. So it's known that the less you eat, the better you're going to feel, the longer you're going to live. That's generally the basic understanding that we know. The only thing is, we don't know. It's not that we don't know. They have not done enough studies and stuff to be able to see the where the limits lie. And as you know, there is no limits in creation. Everything's possible. So are there people living on different forms of energy? Because you're not living on nothing. You're just changing your forms of energy from food to fields. And once you start tapping into these fields, you come to the new understanding of how powerful these fields are, and how much freer you are by doing that instead of eating every single day. So the more days you have with no food, physical foods, the better you're going to feel. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time. This is why we're in training, to clear ourselves out and be able to utilize the different forms of energy that we're using all the time anyway. It's just that we are doing it through unconscious levels. We're not conscious of it. So as we gain this information within our psyche, then we're aware of it, and we can evolve into that if we choose.
Yeah, change our beliefs. Yeah, it does definitely take time. It takes time to make it a lifestyle. I mean, we have many people have tasted the master fast lifestyle of less is more, but making it a lifestyle, it's a long-term thing. So it has its ups and downs. So don't, let's not give up. It's you were just saying about studies about the mice, and today I spent hours and hours clearing my closet, my cabinets from drawers, from lots of paper, a lot of paper. My goodness, there was so much work that went um, into this. Like I've put so much time and energy into these studies. There was fertility. There was we have the stem cells I worked with. About different fields, and it's all the research and so many papers and so many studies, and like summarizing the papers, and my goodness. And now I'm thinking, like we are experimenting and experiencing way more than all the time and effort that I put into this. Like we are living it. We are. We don't even need the studies anymore. We feel it. Of course, it would be amazing to put energy into studying this area, fasting. It really would be amazing. It would be very interesting. Uh, Compared to stem cells and, how to regenerate a liver that was damaged. I mean, the body can do it. You just want to allow it,
No companies will do it.
We can study that, but there's no money.
Where's the returns for them? They're not going to do it.
Exactly. It's not a pill. It's not something that can be patented. Um, nobody can control it. Basically, you're right. You have it to fast. You have it. You don't need nobody's permission to fast and allow your body to heal itself. Yeah, it was just interesting. I took photos of some of my notes and then I threw them in the garbage. I don't need them. It's too much. They didn't help me. They didn't help anyone else.
Sure they did. They helped the companies profit.
It's waste of money. It's money wasted. Definitely money wasted with all the research. A lot of money. It's not cheap, but somebody's paying for it. Somebody's paying for it.
Yeah, like in the U.S., people go into emergency for simple things. There was one guy who was making fun. He went, he broke it. He took a flip, broke his collarbone, went in. They cut off his shirt and they gave him a $900 bill and sent him home with a sling. They said the sling was free, but the cut off the shirt was $900. So it's insane. It's just insane. Some people walk in for whatever and get a few $1,000 bill in the U.S. It's over here in Canada, we don't see the bills, but it's the craziness of these amounts of money is no different. It's just it gets paid through our taxes. What my brother-in-law had several years ago had his brother come up here for a visit. He was living in the U.S. and he wasn't covered up here, so he had to go to the hospital. He had many health challenges, and it was, I can't remember if it was 5 or 6 days, and it was like a $20,000 something bill that they had to pay for that short stay in the hospital. And some people have challenges spending a few $100s, $1,000 on tinctures that'll last them several months. But they have no problem spending money on food that kills. It's priorities in people is
Yeah, we are definitely.
It's imbalanced because the understanding's not there.
Yeah, we are definitely a consumer society. We have so much stuff. Why? I don't understand. Why do we have so many things? I mean, you guys would understand. I'm like cleaning up my stuff here, and just clean up your stuff. I haven't touched them for like maybe almost 10 years. So clean up your stuff and you will understand what I'm saying. I have stuff that I don't like. There's a tag on them. I've never worn them. Why did I buy them? I have no idea. Because it's a normal thing to shop regularly, So, I don't know how everyone is, but we really are big consumer society. It's not right. It's not right. It's too much. I don't use any of this stuff. It's just sitting there in my closet for so long. And it kept accumulating, and I kept buying and buying and buying every month. Buying and buying and buying.
I've been throwing stuff for years. I still got so much to throw. I stopped accumulating it for quite a while now. With so much stuff here.
Yeah.
Plus the children. My goodness, consumers boxes coming every day of stuff they order. It's just they fall into the trap like everybody else. Buy, buy, buy. Consume, consume, consume. Yeah. It's, some of us will come to the realization, and some of us won't, and it's okay, I guess.
Yeah. It would be nice to. I mean, before I met you, I was into watching so many people into minimalism, and learning from them, and I was like, that's so cool, We really don't need so much, And you are into it as well, and it's exciting. It's exciting. I think it's minimalism is more exciting than hoarding, the word, like collecting and collecting and collecting and keeping. Yeah, it's nice to give and give and give and just let it go, because it stays in your head otherwise. If you have it in your closet, it's in your head. You're opening the closet every day and you're watching it. So just get rid of it, and it's not in front of you anymore. Let it go, forget about it. And don't buy it anymore. Stop buying it.
That's why we say change everything from A to Z in your life. Remove all the old triggers that kept you in that imbalanced state. Very important. Very, very important. And the people who make these changes are the ones who succeed. The people who keep everything the same are the ones having the biggest challenges, because they have the same triggers bombarding themselves subconsciously. Even though you're not looking at them, they're there. subconsciously they're there, and it's reminding you at that level, and is why it's a challenge to stick to the changed lifestyle. Um, Once you refresh everything, you will see that it'll be much easier. It's like people go on these retreats and so on and so forth for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, and they feel amazing there, and then they go back home, everything goes back to where it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to learn something, something new and apply it, wherever you go. Like if you go for a break somewhere, learn and come back home and apply it into your life, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As long as you're learning,
Well, yeah, of course. Every step is a learning experience that we should embrace and allow it to be expressed. But the search for finding balance is what so many are are lost and confused. And when you look at the challenges everybody has, they're focusing on. Most people are focusing on the physical, but nobody is looking at the emotional side. And this is all I see. It's all emotional. Everything that people are going through is emotional. It's the physicality is the easy part. It's the emotions that we need to bring to balance. And just look what's happening around the planet. It's all emotional. Killings and this and that and rapes and murder, thieves. This is all emotional stuff.
peace is definitely within. It's definitely within. You want to go within, and instead of trying to fix something outside, just calm down and see how you're reacting to what's around you, and then slowly maybe you can help. And I mean, by being the example, by living it, you're being an example and you're helping.
Yeah.
Yeah, so live the best lifestyle you can live, then you would be an amazing example. And that's really, I think, the best way you can help people if you want to help someone.
Yeah. Lifestyle, less is more in every aspect of our being. Less will always be more. The return to the oneness, uh, the singularity, the all one as we, connect to all one. By being alone, we're connecting to all one. And that's where the abundance comes through. And the abundance in being in a peaceful state, the abundance of being in a blissful state, the abundance of being in that loving state. It all goes back to the singularity of creation, because there's only one creation, the one creator. And this is how we could find true peace, by connecting with our creator. People are traveling the world trying to find this peace. And doesn't happen when you're looking out there. You need to go within and connect.
Yeah, exactly. For me, the best vacation is honestly, like when somebody asks me, "Are you going away for Christmas or for the summer?" Or I'm like, "No," but I'm not like I don't care so much. I tell them that my vacation is fasting because it really helps me to go within more than anything. It really helps me find peace more than anything, going within. But yeah, of course, it's nice to be in nature. Maybe more nature than where I am now, for example. It would be nice to be somewhere else.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So we will wrap it up. And call it a night. Thanks for you guys for joining, and we'll see you next week. Wednesday we have the Facebook Live, and keep digging. Keep that plasma love flowing.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.